Dino, thank you for giving us some time out from the signing with Karachi Kings. So, of course, we'll start off with you being head coach of Karachi Kings. After 4 seasons with other teams, how does it feel going forward?
Well, it's a little bit sad to be leaving Islamabad. I was part of there for their 4 years of the development, and the opportunity came for Karachi. And I've got to thank Mickey Arthur for doing a great job with this Karachi team, and hopefully I'll carry on his good work and to go on hopefully to win a championship and help some young kids get the chance to play for Pakistan. And I'm looking forward to working with Karachi and seeing all their fans. That's one thing I love about Karachi. Every time we played against them, I could see all their fans and all their shirts they're wearing. Didn't happen in Islamabad. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of fans.
So, Dean, tell us a little bit about your home life in Melbourne. You know, what is it like, and how much time do you actually spend at home? How much time you spend traveling? And does your family have issues with this?
No, I've been married for 33 years, and that might be the reason why I've been away for 27. Look, I'm away probably on average 6 to 7 months a year, travelling and commentating and coaching around the world. So. And that's a bit of fun. My wife, married 33 years, I've got 2 daughters. And they've grown up to be beautiful and been magnificent. So, but they have to mould around me, sadly. And I've got a nice little farm at home, and my wife will be coming to Karachi as well, and Pakistan for the PSL.
Dean, you mentioned something very important. You said it gets a bit lonely, and a lot of cricketers say this to us, that hotel rooms are very cold. Yeah. And we just had Virat Kohli give a press conference in India where he praised Glenn Maxwell for talking about the issues that he's facing mentally. Is it something very common in the cricketing world, and what are your views on it?
Oh, look, I've known Glenn Maxwell for a long time. I think depression, the great thing is we're a lot more open to it now. If we can't have a player to come to a coach and say, I've got some problems home or with my family or with my personal well-being, we need to have those doors open. And players can't be chastised for having these particular thoughts. So we've got to work with them. And I admire Glenn Maxwell, what he's done. And we need to work it. You guys see all the glitz and glamour. You see the guys on TV and doing the ads, and they're in front of cameras. But they're also on the road a lot, away from their families and their friends. And you get quite lonely in hotel rooms. And that's my biggest job for Karachi, is to try to get these guys out of their rooms and to mix together, enjoy friendship and mateship, as we call it in Australia. And it's a bit difficult on the PSL because there's a lot of security, but I've got to try to break that shackles down and for the people to enjoy Pakistan. Its people, its food, its culture.
You just mentioned something to me before we started the interview, that you had attended a very colourful wedding. Yeah. And, you mentioned the food in Pakistan, which food and weddings sort of seem to go together. Is that something you've noted in PSL, even though it's been in the UAE, just a very colourful culture, if you can put it that way, and a lot of emphasis on food, despite the need for fitness?
Oh, look, number one thing, in Australia, we actually love cooking the guys. I don't know what it's like with the guys in Pakistan, but we actually like getting the meat or the vegetables and mixing it together and cooking it yourself. There's something about that. And friends and mates will come out and help you. It's amazing. Everybody thinks they can cook, but they can't. That's a big thing. But I really thoroughly enjoy the cooking. And I have to say, on one trip up, I think it was up at Peshawar, in one of the hotels, it's probably the best way they've cooked meat, whether it be the beef and the chicken, I've ever tasted. And I've never able to actually get it right. And it's getting the right coals and getting the right heat and the marinade of the meat, etc. I love my food. And one great thing in Pakistan, there's always good food.
Is there anything else that you do during your leisure time? I'm just assuming, like all the other cricketers I know, that when you get to Pakistan, and which many have done in the UAE, is play a lot of golf. And you mentioned horse riding as well. So what would be the things that you'd be doing to just take some time off from cricket?
Well, I like to actually go out and look at some of the mosques and actually look at the wonderful infrastructure and buildings. For me, the greatest building I've ever seen being made by man, the Muslims made the Taj Mahal, and a lot of great buildings, etc., particularly in India, is made by Muslims, and that stays forever. And I've always thought I built a wall at home, a lovely little area outside my house. I wanted to get a Muslim guy because they know how to build. They know how to build it, and it's going to be there for years and years and years. Look, I really, one thing I learned from Steve Waugh, he struggled staying in rooms, and once he started to buy a camera and he went out and started looking at the people, their day-to-day life, and to understand how they live their life, and distracted him from cricket without thinking too much. See, guys actually get in the rooms and think too much about their game, and sometimes they need to get out, meet people. It's the greatest job in the world. You go to countries around the world like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India, wherever, and you see some of the greatest things that you don't get to experience working normally at home. It's living the dream.
That's great. And Dean, you know, looking forward to Karachi Kings. We've heard often you mention Mickey Arthur, and everyone talks about his emphasis on fitness. So going forward, you played at a time when perhaps there was more focus on tests, and we're finding now people are appreciating the talents for T20 as well. Lots of demand, lots of energy required in this format. What are the tips you'll be giving for fitness?
Well, fitness is one component of it, and to be honest, that's the easiest thing. God gave you an ability. Now it's up to you to use that ability to the best of you can. The second thing is I'm very big on is analytics, and that's people have a behavioural pattern. Under pressure, I know what batsman shot they will try and play. I know I want to educate our players on what ball the opposition bowler is going to bowl at the death. I've got to make sure the emphasis on the little things are the difference between being mediocre or to being great. And I don't like mediocrity. It's full of it everywhere around the world. And I want to try to create a franchise that's not mediocre. And then Karachi is certainly not that, but they have the chance to be unbelievably successful. And I've been lucky enough to win 2 championships. I sort of understand what it takes, what's required. Yes, fitness is one thing. Love and respect for your mates, your teammates is 2. The understanding of what the opposition trying to do to you, number 3. And number 4, you've got to go out and let guys play with a free mind. Now, that sounds easy when I say that stuff, but it's actually quite difficult because everyone's dealing with their own demons and negativity. And in this game of T20, you can't second guess yourself. And you just got to go out there and just believe and just go after it and whack it. So, and I'm trying to create a brand that's positive, that people want to get from the back of their seats and get forward and watch the game. I want to create that when Babar Azam goes at the bat, or Amir bowls at the death, or Ahmad bowling his stuff, or Colin Ingram just going ballistic. They're the type of things I want their fans to go to and watch the way we play. And hopefully we'll bring that over the next few years.
And on that note, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.